two key pieces with your setup motion. Number one, get the feet far enough apart. So if you draw a straight line up from my ankles, they're outside of shoulder width. And number two, you have to have a little tilt. So if you take your normal setup, hands here by your knees, let your right fingertips get down to your kneecap. So if you put start level, right fingertips down your kneecaps, that's from Marty Nowicki, shout out Marty. There I have wide feet and tilt. Now this is important because this sets my head position relative to the golf ball. Notice from face on, my head's behind the ball. The key here as I go is I want to keep my head behind the ball, big turn on the way back, keep it back behind it and keep it back as I do my throw. So what I'm going to feel here is the throw, club head out towards the target while keeping my head back. Now notice as I'm doing it, I'm still turning and pushing my hips forward. We'll talk about that next. So part number two, throw the club head towards the target. Keep the head behind the line for more distance. Hey guys, Eric here, back outside at the Bethlehem Golf Club. In today's video, we're going to talk about 3 driver basics to hit the ball farther. Now quickly before we dive in, if you're interested in improving faster, we built CogornoGolf.com to help remove the barrier between you and I. We have over 500 exclusive videos that are available nowhere else that I could personally guide you through to improve. Combined with the videos, you're able to get personal swing feedback from myself and the coaches at CogornoGolf.com, as well as a specific practice plan for you. So whether you're interested in breaking 100, fixing your slice, or improving your putting, we have a solution for you. Check out CogornoGolf.com in the link below. Okay, so let's talk about these 3 basics with the driver to hit the ball farther. Now we're gonna waste no time here and I'm gonna show you what these 3 are, and then basically what I'll do is we'll break down each one of the 3 and go through why they're important and how to do each one of them. So 3 things here, driver basics to hit the ball farther. Number 1 is letting the club throw. Now I know as we've been doing videos on letting the club throw, everyone gets nervous about that. We're going to talk about the throw with your driver and the fact that there's timing to it. You see great drivers of the golf ball, and to maximize the distance, they do in fact throw it. The key is they don't throw it back here, they throw it up here. So we'll get into that, number 1 being the throw. Number 2 is the head staying back. To hit the ball as far as possible, if you imagine there's a line up the left side of your head, I want to be on or behind that line, stay behind that line, and sometimes even move even more behind that line if through impact into my follow through. So head staying back being key number 2. Key number 3 is my hips pushing forward. I can keep my head back and have my weight back, and that defeats the purpose. But if I keep my head back and push my hips forward, that creates a little bit of a diagonal line here with my body, which is key for long drivers. So 3 pieces, we're gonna throw past impact, we're gonna keep the head back, and we're gonna push the hips forward. Let's talk about how to do each one of those. So piece number 1 for hitting the ball farther is the throw. Now again, the key here being when you throw. So what I want to have happen for you to maximize distance is there is going to be this throw motion. This throw motion meaning your left wrist is going to break down eventually, go towards extension, and your right wrist is going to be fully lengthened. The key is you notice the timing of it. So when I do the throw, what I want to have happen is you feel like you're throwing the club head towards the target. You see where this throw is? Again, I'm not doing the throw back here behind the ball. I'm also not doing the throw with no body motion. I'm doing the throw motion with the club head towards the target. So we'll get into that a little bit more, but just to start off, that's the first feeling. Take your normal setup, take the club head back about halfway, and let yourself throw the club head to the point where it's pointed straight at my target line. Let's go ahead and do one of those. So we're part number 1 for hitting it farther. We're going to let the club head throw. And we're going to let it throw past impact. That's about as good as I can hit it. Now the key here as to why we're doing the throw is really to generate more speed and to generate more loft and angle of attack. So what I mean is when I take my normal setup, if I were to swing the club with no throw motion, so just arms and body, like so, I can generate a certain amount of speed for sure. If I do the same thing and I allow throw or use my arms and hands, certainly I can get that club head moving quite a bit faster. The key, having it past impact. Now, With the throw motion, it is a little bit dependent on your club head speed. The simple take home is the more club head speed you have, let's say 110 miles an hour or more, the later you can throw. So you can have the handle more forward and throw even later. The lower your club head speed, the sooner you want to throw. Potentially even feeling it earlier back here behind the ball and having the shaft line up more neutral. The reason is what the throw does for you as I throw the club is it helps me hit more up on the ball, and it also for me is going to deliver more loft. So the slower your club head speed is, under 100 miles an hour or less, you want to probably feel the throw a little bit sooner. Again, there's going to be body motion we're going to talk about. If you have more club head speed, you can throw it later. The idea here, get the club head throwing and allow that lead wrist to fully go in towards extension and have the club head pass towards impact. Now, it'll probably be pointing a little bit left of your target, but in the general direction. Let's do one more. So throwing it past impact, number one. Good, and there's another one that hit it about as far as I can. So the throw motion is huge and have it happening past impact, but let's talk a little bit about the head motion. Okay, part number two here is keeping the head back or behind the line. And really in simple terms here, if I take my normal setup, two key pieces with your setup motion. Number one, get the feet far enough apart. So if you draw a straight line up from my ankles, they're outside of shoulder width. And number two, you have to have a little tilt. So if you take your normal setup, hands here by your knees, let your right fingertips get down to your kneecap. So if you put start level, right fingertips down your kneecaps, that's from Marty Nowicki, shout out Marty. There I have wide feet and tilt. Now this is important because this sets my head position relative to the golf ball. Notice from face on, my head's behind the ball. The key here as I go is I want to keep my head behind the ball, big turn on the way back, keep it back behind it and keep it back as I do my throw. So what I'm going to feel here is the throw, club head out towards the target while keeping my head back. Now notice as I'm doing it, I'm still turning and pushing my hips forward. We'll talk about that next. So part number two, throw the club head towards the target. Keep the head behind the line for more distance. And there's another one. I really should have set my TrackMan up for this because I'm hitting these about as far as I can hit them to show you the numbers. Again, the goal there being have enough loft, hit the ball high enough, right? Have the angle of attack a little bit more up and create more speed. So those are the first two parts, head behind the wall, throw it. If you have a hard time with that, you want to make sure you record yourself from face on. You can even put in a little training aid station where you have an object over your lead shoulder and keep your head back. But this all only works if you get the hip part right, which we'll talk about next. Okay, and finally part number three being pushing the hips up and forward. Now, it's important when we do this, there's really two motions to this. Number one, as I'm gonna throw past impact, I'm gonna keep my head back. My hips have to push up and forward to the point where my hips, if I drew a straight line up, are more towards the target than my chest. If this is not normal for you, you might feel like your chest is more up towards the sky than normal, your hips and butt are pushed forward more than normal, and that's okay. Now that piece is gonna go in with the head staying back. Now the key is, when I do that motion, I don't push my hips forward towards the ball, I don't even push them forward towards the target. If I'm at about 3 o'clock, and the target's at 12 o'clock, I'm pushing my hips up and forward just left of that towards about 11 o'clock. So I'm simultaneously getting the push forward and the rotation. So let's see if we can put that together. So we're gonna throw the club head past impact till the club's parallel to the ground there. Club face is pointed kind of basically straight left. Head stays behind the ball. Hips push up and forward just left of the target towards 11. So throw, head back, hips forward. And there's another one, Mary. That's about as good as I can hit the ball. And I notice I'm doing the throw more than normal because the launch of the ball is a lot higher. It's not too spinny, it's just higher. So the hip portion, if you're not used to doing that, you could put a stick or a chair object in the ground and push your belt buckle up and forward. Again, if the target's 12, do it towards 11 o'clock where you're just behind it. These three motions are gonna help you maximize your speed, hit up on the ball, right? So maximize angle of attack and hit the ball a lot farther. I'd do all three. I would record yourself, use a live view or et cetera, whatever you need to use, and see what you're doing and build those pieces in. Hope that this helps. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. If you like the video, do us a favor, hit that like button down below, it really helps us out. Click the notification bell and please subscribe. Now that you just got done here, you're gonna see two videos on the screen. One is gonna talk more about effortless power with your driver that compounds on this video. And the other video will talk a little bit about differences between the irons and the driver. Both of them should really help you. Go ahead, check them out.